What is it you think about a thin or medium-sized man that wants to meet a voluptuous woman like yourself?
I think everybody has preferences, and personally, that's my preference is not a more bigger man.
But isn't it interesting the difference? Whoa, I almost spilled. I got my Long Island iced tea and just about spilled there. I'm a little nervous around a big, beautiful woman. But don't you find it interesting that a thin person, a thin man would be attracted to a big woman, but maybe a big woman wouldn't be attracted to a big man?
Yes and no. I find it, for myself, I'm pretty flexible, but my preference is definitely...
And by flexible, do you mean you can put your feet behind your ears? I'm sorry. I can't help it. I hate to add it. You know what I mean? It just comes. It sort of comes. And I just sort of got to go with it. That's probably not what you meant at all when you said flexible.
I'm flexible in my preference, but overall, I do not prefer the larger size man.
Why a thin man for you?
I don't think gasoline and water mix, so I don't think two big people mix very well together.
Now, I often hear people say, "Oh, I don't see color," you know, oh, I don't know. But would you say you're more attracted to a thin white guy or a thin black guy?
A thin white guy.
Why do you think that would be? You are obviously a very voluptuous ebony princess, and you have, as the brothers might say, girl, you got it going on. You know what I mean? But you, why do you think that is?
Oh, I think it probably dates back to childhood. I've been that way since, I don't know, maybe 12 years old. It hasn't changed.
And when you were, what do you mean that it was since childhood? It was, rather than a large black man, it was a thin white man who first robbed you of your virginity?
No, I've been attracted to white boys, white men since about 12 years old, I would say.
And being a ebony princess as you are, do you ever get flack from some of the people in your community calling you turncoat, Uncle, I was going to say Uncle Tom, but Aunt Gertha, whatever, you know, what the expression would be. Do you ever get any of that from your race?
I don't get it from my neighborhood, but I do have people question my preference. I don't get the name calling, but I do have people questioning me.
But you are your own person, and you are a strong woman of the new millennium, and you're probably not all that interested in what other people think.
I could care less. As long as I'm happy, I'm comfortable with it, I go with it.
And now I notice that there's a lot of people in costume. In fact, you are wearing a costume. What are you wearing?
I am a sexy cowgirl.
You're a cowgirl. And maybe it makes you mad that a lot of the westerns we see on TV, like with John Wayne, etc., don't represent African Americans. And so somebody who's seen those old westerns would think that only white guys or white women were cowboys and cowgirls.
Well, I know it's not true because there are a lot of black men who were in Western, so it doesn't really cause a problem for me. I don't think about it that way. And I'm happy with the here and now, and right here and now, I feel I represent who I am.